Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to be talking to you guys once again. I'm so excited to be in a space where I can sit down, talk to you guys, have a conversation, because I know this channel started based off of vlogs and stuff, but just I realized I actually really enjoy the videos where I'm not vlogging, I'm just kind of sitting and talking. And the end of the year is almost here and I have some things that we should talk about. Let's discuss. I don't have the answers to everything, so I feel like this video is more so just going to be like a little yap session than it is like a motivational video where I'm like telling you all these amazing things. But let's just yap. Also, if you've never seen my face before, hi, I'm Rosanna. I'm 22 years old. I live in South Africa. I'm a beauty and lifestyle influencer. Go ahead and follow me on my Instagram or my TikTok. Both are at Rosanna Rosaba. And I can't wait for you to stick around, stay, join the fam. Because in the club, we all fam. They say when you turn 25, your brain just clicks and you lock in, you know, and you just gain a whole new perspective on so many things. And that's when your personality and your way of thinking is like fully formed, your brain is fully developed. And that to me both scares me and excites me, because if that is true, you're telling me there's more self-awareness than this? Like, I'm 22 years old. I already feel so locked in. I feel so self-aware all the time, to the point where like it almost sometimes is like to my detriment. If it's gonna only be more intense in the years to come, I low-key want to be like, leave me out then. Okay, so I just wanted to make a video basically talking specifically to the people who, if you're anything like me, this time of year is a little bit triggering for you. Like, you start to see the Christmas lights go up and the Christmas trees and the decorations, and you're like, whoa, it's done. Like, whatever we've accomplished and it's done now. Like, time is up, you know. And we have this habit of thinking about New Year's resolutions and forming New Year's resolutions and looking back at the year and thinking to ourselves, what have I accomplished? What didn't I accomplish? What goals am I going to move over to next year and try to accomplish next year? And I just wanted to give a little bit of a different perspective to this and how I've been thinking about this whole New Year's resolution and time passing thing, because what is this weird phenomenon? And I'm not the only person who's like this. Like, time passing genuinely scares me. I'm like, can we stay in November for just 2 more weeks, please? So let's think of it like this, right? The reason we set New Year's resolutions is because we want to achieve something in that year that is important to building the fundamentals of who we are as people, right? So like, if you want to achieve a certain body type, then your New Year's resolutions would be to work out every single day, because that you want that to be a part of who you are, fundamental part of you as a person and the way that you present to the world and everything. And I want you guys to just kind of, thinking about it this way has helped me a lot. Take the pressure off of the time. You have time. I freak out so much sometimes because I'm only 22, but you know how often it feels like time is up, like I should have done A, B, and C by now, and I haven't. And what I want you guys to do is, instead of setting New Year's resolutions, just take the New Year's part out and just set resolutions. So say, okay, me, my being, my ultimate self, my highest self, the person I want to be in this life, this world that's full of so many different kinds of people, what kind of person do I want to be? Think about that person and start working towards that person, and forget about the time. Forget about how long it takes. Because the reality is, it's never gonna be a smooth ride. Most of the time, it's not a smooth ride. And I feel like that's when it becomes so easy to give up on it. Because it's like, oh, well, I missed the deadline anyways. I'm done. I missed the deadline anyways. Like, let's just move on then and just set new resolutions. But like, that is still something that was important to you and you still can achieve it. But it's this whole thing of a timeline. Always feeling like our lives are on a timeline. And this timeline is fake. It doesn't exist. Take the age that you are now, okay? Whoever you are watching this, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm 22. Half of my friends are married, trying for kids, moving in together. The other half are about to start university for the first time, about to start, you know, furthering their education, moving on to their honors, their masters, are single, have no clue what they're doing. The other half are living all on their own, driving their own cars, buying their own cars for the first. The other half are still living with their parents, with all their siblings in the house, being taken care of. Like, it's still, you know, life hasn't changed much since high school. And just because of the world that we live in, first of all, just my little 2 cents, I don't think it's normal that we know this much about each other. Okay, there was a time, and not to be that girl that was like, back in the day, what, but like, no, legit, back in the day, people didn't know this much about each other. There was no social media to be comparing ourselves to the next person every 5 minutes, and now there is. And so what have we done? We have taken these most beautiful, glamorous moments, and we've taken these people's ages and we've gone, okay, these people seem to have their things figured out. These people seem to be independent. They seem to be everything that in school we're taught to be one day in life. Independent, financially, what's the word? Financially stable, in good relationships, educated, they know what they want, all that stuff, right? And we're looking at people who are so young who are doing it. But the thing is, we don't have the context as to how they got there in the first place. Baby, this scone is too good. It is too good. Okay, what was I talking about? Context. We don't have the context of people's lives. Like I'm saying, you're looking at this person and they are 22 years old. They have accomplished A, B, and C. You don't know how they got there. Maybe they grew up in a family that was so unsupportive. They didn't have a choice but to boss up from such a young age and accomplish it. Whereas other people who maybe are a bit more relaxed in their 20s, maybe that's because they're lucky enough to come from families where they can be chilled out, you know, they can afford to chill at home for a little bit longer. You see what I mean? We don't have the context of things. We just see all these amazing things being accomplished and we're like, okay, that's the standard. No matter where I am, never mind my background, never mind what I've been through, never mind what I deal with on a daily basis, this is the standard. And if you fall short of this standard, then you're doing something wrong, or you have done something wrong. You're on the wrong path, you're in the wrong relationship, you're doing the wrong degree, you're chasing the wrong things. There's a million different things that we could apply to. And I'm now realizing that that's just not true. It's just not true. And it's so refreshing. It's like a breath of fresh air to come to these realizations, because once you do, you can ease up on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, because you don't know what you're comparing yourself to. You don't know this person's life story. Maybe some people just straight up got lucky. Good for them, okay? But like, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what the future holds for us. I'm sure if you're a spiritual person, you believe in God like I do, I'm sure God has the most amazing things planned for us, better than we could have ever planned for ourselves. And I really just, now I feel like I'm getting emotional. I really just feel like they are worth waiting for, even if they're difficult to achieve. And I've been struggling so much with feelings of guilt. I feel like I've let myself down, and I feel like the things that I wanted, I've not achieved them. And I'm like, that's my fault. I didn't achieve them, and they were no one else's job to do but mine. And the reason why that to me is because that statement completely disregards, first of all the amazing things that I did do, all the amazing things that I did achieve, and the fact that I was having a hard time. We need to take that into account. I was having a hard time, and still while having this hard time, I achieved all these other things. And sometimes you feel like you're starting from the bottom, right? So like me now, I already know next year I'm definitely still going to be content creating, absolutely, because it's a part of me, it's a bit of me, I love it. But I know that it's going to be much harder because I'm now going to have to be managing myself and dealing with that. And I've never had to experience the behind the scenes of it all. The, email communications and contracts and negotiations and reaching out to brands and getting back to people and I hope this email finds you well, and just all this stuff. I've never had to do it before, and now I'm having a taste of it, and I'm like, this is hard. Yes, and I'm going to acknowledge that for myself. I'm going to acknowledge that, because what do I always say? Well, I don't always say this. I don't actually think I've ever said this on the internet before, but I always say this to myself. You cannot regulate an emotion you won't allow yourself to feel. Can we have a moment for that? You cannot regulate an emotion that you will not allow yourself to feel. I'm not even looking in the viewfinder, baby. I'm looking at you when I tell you this. You cannot regulate an emotion you won't allow yourself to feel. If something is difficult, feel the difficulty of it. Yes, it's difficult. Don't gaslight yourself and be like, oh no, this is easy. It's fine. I've got this. No. If it's difficult, feel. Yes, this is difficult. If something is heavy and it's weighing on you, feel. Yes, this is heavy and it's weighing on me. If something is making you sad, acknowledge that. This is the only way. You know, they say the only way out is through. You have to go through the emotions. That's why they talk about I'm going through so much. Yes, because we're going through it. We're not going around it. We're not trying to skip it. We are going to go through it, and it's hard and it's scary and it's difficult and it's so emotional. But the most important thing that we need to remember is that there is a beyond this. And me and my mom were talking about this last night, where when you're in these moments, I feel like I'm preaching now. When you're in these moments, it's as if there's no beyond this. You're feeling this pain, and it's the most pain you've ever felt. This is the most fear you've ever felt. This is the most nervous you've ever felt. This is the most uncertain you've ever felt. And it feels like you're stuck there until this situation is over. But you know what? Tomorrow, the sun will rise. The situation will not be over, but you will still be breathing. You'll still be breathing air. You'll still be healthy. You'll still be alive. You'll still be figuring it out, because there is a beyond this scary moment. I promise you that. I wish I could give you guys the biggest hug ever and tell you, because I'm gonna hold your face when I tell you this. There is a beyond this moment. I promise. I promise you that. And this is where we have to make a choice. Okay? Once we get to this part, we have to make a choice. Am I going to crumble under this pressure, or am I going to rise above this? And am I going to chase what I wanted in the first place? Is what I want worth the time it's gonna take to get it? The effort it's gonna take to get it? The discipline? And if your answer is yes to all of those questions, if you're like, yes, I want it so bad though, and I'm not even talking about content creation at this point. At this point, I'm talking about life. What do you want in your life? Ask yourself those questions. Am I willing to go through all the trials and tribulations to get it? You know what they say? It's not about, what is the saying? It's not like what are you willing to have, or like, it's something like that. It's like, what are you willing to suffer for? It's not about what you want to have in life. What are you willing to suffer for a little bit? Because the things that are the most meaningful, yes, beautiful, wonderful things sometimes just fall into our laps. Thank God for that. That's His grace. And sometimes they require a little bit of us. They require that push and that pull. And you need to ask yourself, am I willing to give that push and that pull? Do I have it in me? Can I find it in me? And before you even try and answer the question yourself, I will tell you, yes, you do have it in you. Because if I can do it, you can do it. And I'm not just saying that. You guys don't know me. You don't know me personally. You don't know me day to day. You don't know my general moods every single day. You don't know how I am as a person when we're talking, holding conversations. You guys don't know me. You don't know the things and the thoughts that I sit with when I'm all alone. You don't know the days I'm having when I'm not posting, good and bad. You don't know me. But I know me. And it's not been easy. I've been having a hard time. And even I'm saying, you know what, I feel like I can do it. And that's saying a lot. So I promise you, if I can do it, you absolutely can do it. And take the pressure of time off, okay? The time does not matter. Do you know how many famous people started things in their life so much later? So many designers, their clothes only started selling when they turned in their 40s, in their 50s. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, so many actors. Think about what they look like young. You don't know, because they only achieved these things later on in life. Take the time off of it. But now, can you imagine if those people, like Vera Wang, her clothing brand only started to pop off later on in life. I think she was in her 40s or her 50s. Can you imagine if she one day was sitting in her room, 22 years old, and was like, okay, this is my New Year's resolution. I'm giving myself until this date to become a fashion designer, and if I don't do it, then I failed, but this is my time. No, take the time off of it. You don't know when this is gonna break break through for you. You don't know when this is going to break through for you. And so just keep at it. So this next year, if there's anything that I want you to remember, it's that if you want something, oh my gosh, I have to remember not to swear on this channel. If you want something, to hell with the New Year's resolution, to hell with the timeline. It's not real. Like, forget the whole thing of at this age you should do this, and at this age you should do this, and at this age you should have that. No. Forget all of that stuff. If you want something, go get it. No matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fall and you're gonna have to get up. What did Cardi B say? I fall 9 times and I get up 10, baby. Yes, that's us. Let that be your New Year's resolution then. Let that be your resolution in general. That every single time I fall, I get back up. It doesn't matter how long it takes me. Even if it takes an hour to get back up, or if it takes the next few weeks to get back up. One thing about me, baby, I will get back up. Okay? And it is like, it's like making me, oh my gosh, it is like making me a little bit emotional, because it's like, I wish I would have known this sooner. But then again, we need to forgive ourselves for the things we didn't know when we didn't know any better, you know? And I think about this so much when I think about my parents, okay? Everyone in life, everyone has, if you are a living, breathing person and you grew up with your parents, you definitely at one point or another, you had an argument with your parent, you know? And the older I get, the more I look at them, and I see them less as parents. Still, obviously, those are my parents. That's my mom and dad. I need to listen to them. They know what they're talking about, okay? They're in charge. I know that. But I'm saying I'm seeing them less as just these parents and more so as just human beings that are also figuring it out for the first time. And then it helps me so much. Like, whenever we have little arguments about things, I just look at them and I'm like, but this is how you were raised. So of course you think that. And I understand that. The same way that one day when I'm older, if I'm having an argument with my kid, the way that I'm raised now, I'm gonna carry that over to them. And we're gonna have arguments about it. But it's like, just have that empathy of not, just forgive people and forgive yourself for not doing better until you knew better. Because how many times can you think about a situation in your life right now where you're like, I wish I could have done that differently. I wish I would have done that better. I wish I would have handled myself differently in that situation. I would have made a much different decision now. That's fine. Let that go, baby. Let it go. It's literally fine. I promise you. Forgive yourself for not knowing better until you did. Now you know better. So use that. Use that in all your next years to come. Take everything you're learning and use that, because you didn't know better, and that's fine. If you are having a hard time forgiving yourself, I'm gonna hold your face again when I say this. I forgive you for not knowing better until you knew better. Okay? It's fine. We're human. We're figuring it out. And I hope that this can be a safe space for you to feel like you can come to whenever you need to just figure it out. Whether it's watching this video over and over and over again, because I already know this next coming year I'm going to be working so hard to, you know, chase my dreams, and I'm going to need to come back to this video to just really look at myself. Rosanna, you're fine. You know, you've got this. And even if you're not fine, that's fine. Acknowledge it. Feel it. Regulate it. And then let it go. Okay? Come back to this video as many times as you need to, and comment down below what else do you need a little talk on, a little advice on, because I don't have the answers to everything. I don't know everything, but I have always valued speaking to other people when I'm having a hard time. It always helps me. So I can't promise you that I'm gonna know everything. I can't promise you I'm gonna know what the right thing to say is. I don't know. But one thing is for sure, we will figure it out together right here on this channel. We will. I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to be easy on yourself. I want you to forgive yourself. I want you to write down all the things you want to accomplish in this life and keep that with you. And not just for a year, keep that for the next 20 years if you must, until you accomplish it. And no matter how many times you get down, that's when you have to make that choice of getting back up or staying down. And I know you're gonna get back up. I'm not even worried about you. you're gonna get right back up. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I hope you found something meaningful in this. I cannot wait to see you in my next one. I have so many vlogs planned. So I just love vlogging so much. It's just so scary going out in public with the camera because everyone's so scared of the camera. No one wants to be on camera. But I have so many vlogs planned and I will see you in the next one. Have a beautiful rest of your November because it's done now. It's done. And that's fine. Don't be scared. And if you are scared, feel the fear. Talk about it. I'm scared. But we're gonna be fine. Again, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.